After a few busy days to get Flutterby, a 47-foot yacht, ready for this trip, we're finally setting sail and we're all very excited about it. We're 5 on board: Ross, Carla and Erin, the permanent resident on Flutterby. Jack and myself are taking part in this journey to learn the ropes. We're first sailing from Nelson to the Fiordland National Park, where we'll anchor for the night before heading into deeper water. This will give us a great opportunity to complete a full review of the safety equipment and practice man overboard exercise.
And what these are set up to do is either go around your neck if you haven't got enough clothes on, but basically go in your pocket. But this is like, oh fuck, my head torch was sat beside me on the seat when I got washed overboard, is that you've got a fucking light that you can wave around and we can see. Yeah. And the other thing with that obviously is think about the logistics of that. If you've fucked off and it was night time, there was no warning, you couldn't shout or anything, and you've fallen overboard, don't turn it on because the boat's sailing away. In 2 hours time someone's going to wake up, we're going to turn around and we're going to follow our track back. When you start to see the lights on the boat, then turn it on. Make sense?
Yeah.
So if this was an emergency, you can just grab this fucking handful and just pull it off the wall and it'll come out of its bracket. This is the nice way to release it. So you just flick that forward. And that just releases out of there. Yeah, number 2 is take it out. Number 3, flip switch, and hey presto, bingo bongo, off you go.
There's a button under there.
There's a button under there and it's off and live. Don't pull. I think you've just set it off. Or we've set off a test.
The next morning, we're setting sail early to round the northern tip of New Zealand's South Island, the Cape Farewell. Then we'll head south along the west coast, a well-known place for its wilderness, where strong weather pattern coming up from the sub-Antarctic water hit the coast. We know we can get anything from dead calm sea to gale force wind. The nights are divided into watches of 3 hours each. It allows us to keep sailing while someone is on the deck and others are sleeping or trying to. Buenas, tío. ¿Qué estás cocinando, marica?
Sí, mira, estoy cocinando la cena para hoy. 2-3 horas cuando el barco está muriendo así.
¡Qué rico! What's the dish?
Se llama sobras de ayer con calabaza y cebolla.
Looks yum. Spécialité du chef. After 5 days at sea, sailing south and celebrating New Year's cradled by the swell, we're entering the imposing Milford Sound. In the Maori legend, Piopiotahi, the Milford Sound, was formed by Tuteraka Whanua, a semi-god figure. He was in charge with the great responsibility of shaping the Fiordland coast. Working his way from south to north, he improved at carving the mountain rock walls with his axe, while chanting powerful mantra. Eventually, he realized his masterpiece, the 16th and last fjord, Piopiotahi. But to prevent humans from lingering too long in such a stunning place, the goddess Inenui Tepo, the great woman of the night, released the sandflies, the tunamu. It means little devils. She succeeded in her mission, as you can't stand still more than 5 minutes without being harassed by hundreds of little biting monsters. The thought of being locked inside the boat surrounding by such breathtaking landscapes appeared to us unrealistic. But the tunamu are real, so we dared to hope we would quickly get used to them. Unfortunately, it never happened, and we were just about to learn that we would have plenty of time to get to know them better.
The fuel is all at the fuel's all at the injection pump, but it's not delivering any fuel at the high pressure side, which is a bit of a disaster because it probably means the injection pump might have to come off and go to Christchurch.
Right.
And we sit here for a couple of months.
Right.
Sound good? Sounds a good plan. Heaps of climbing,
Get the sailing dinghy down.
heaps of trek. You're gonna learn
You
climbing.
have all your climbing stuff.
We get all the climbing gears.
That makes it not such a bad thing.
Are you going to help
develop some sort of second skin like a snake?
Like you what?
I'm going to develop a second skin like a snake.
A sandfly skin.
A sandfly proof
yeah.
skin.
Gotcha. Yeah. What do you think, Tito? What's your idea of that? You want to stay a month here?
Well, we can't go outside.
So what caused the injector pump to
I have no idea.
go?
It's it could have something to do with there being so much water in the fuel through that breather, and it could just be old age.
Yeah.
However, for the wise man, when things go wrong, that's when adventure starts. Considering the injection pump have to be taken apart and sent to a specialist to be repaired, we will easily have a few weeks in front of us, stuck in sandfly heaven. So why not taking a different perspective on the Fiordland region and going for a walk? 10 days after the failure, the so-waited parcel was already back on board, and it took only a couple of hours to roast the captain engineer to get the different parts back together and the engine running again.
I'm trying to communicate with the extraterrestrial.
Don't do that to me.
Are you trying to reach the extraterrestrial universe?
I'm trying to reach extraterrestrial universe here. No, we're trying to pick up a voice transmission on the SSB for weather forecast, but the sandflies are annoying me too much, and the frequency is just got data running on it. So we tried tuning up a little bit, but it's not making any difference, so I don't know what's happening, to be honest.
Eventually, we managed to receive a good weather forecast and get ready to set sail again. We're first heading south to discover another nearby fjord, before making our way back home.
So what we've decided to do, we're currently sailing off the southwest coast of the South Island of New Zealand, which is pretty extreme sailing conditions, as you can see. Flat, calm seas, 12 knots on the beam. It's pretty hard going, but no, really, it's a difficult place to sail. We've been down here now for 2.5 weeks. We've actually had a bit of an engine failure that meant that we were stuck for a little while in Milford Sound with the Tinamu, which is the local name for some little bitey sandflies, horrible little fellas. So we came down to this part of the world. It's a fjord country, like Norway or Patagonia, and we thought we'd do a little bit of training with the crew. So Jack and Guillaume have joined us. We've been anchoring in all sorts of strange conditions and funny places, changing anchors halfway through the proceedings to make things better holding. So currently you cannot cross any ocean of the world without buying a ticket on a fossil fuel powered boat or plane. Voyage Vert is my idea to counter this problem, to give solution to the problem of not being able to cross any ocean without using fossil fuels. Even container ships are still using fossil fuels. There's no way to do it sustainably. So with Voyage Vert, what we want to do, we have a concept design for a 110 meter trimaran, which is scalable. So we could make the boat bigger, we could make the boat smaller. The trimaran is currently designed to take about 200 passengers, 30-40 crew, across the North Atlantic at somewhere an average speed of 20 knots, which is very fast for a sailing boat. It's also very slow compared to flight. So rather than 8 hours to cross the North Atlantic, we'd be looking at something like 2.5 weeks at best speed. Why would you want to take 2.5 weeks? So that you're not contributing to climate change and the weather pattern changes and the catastrophes we're seeing around the world with extreme weather events and things like this. What do we need? Well, currently we're sitting on a Swan 47, which is my personal contribution to Voyage Vert to try to prove the concept of what we want to do. So we have passengers coming with us on the delivery to take this back to Northern Europe so that we can carry on showing investors how Voyage Vert will work. Although we probably want to think about the fjord that we're going into at the moment, so might have to cut this take and look out for the rocks in front of us.
Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this episode, or if you'd like to see some more, let us know. Just give a thumb up or let us a comment. We would really appreciate it.